Hey YouTube, it's Brandon Johnson here again. Got a hot take for everyone. If you want to get into just say putting a turbo on an LS, get a piece of crap, rusty, cheap, running and driving Silverado or Tahoe and start by putting a turbo on it. So let's take this one for example. This one was this is a 2001 Tahoe I got for $500. It was it hit a deer, and also the guy had a system in it, so the interior's gutted on it. It's rusty, but when I got it, it had a busted radiator and the front end was all smashed out. So I got a couple of parts rigged, so I just had this grill laying around, had the lights, and then I can't remember if I pulled this radiator. I think I pulled this radiator from a different one, but I think I JB welded the one that was originally in it, and then I found a different one that I had. I think that this is the best route to go for getting your feet wet in the Turbo LS world. You already got a vehicle that runs and drives. All you gotta do is slap a turbo on it and figure out a way how you're gonna tune it. I'll show you what I got. I just went cheapest everything. So it's just a stock 5.3. I put a $63 eBay sloppy stage 2 cam on it. I put PAC 1218 springs on it, and then for the hot side, the hot side manifold, this is like a $83 turbo log from eBay. GT45. This one was $125. Crossover pipe was the cheapest. The one where it mounts the wastegate in the stupid location that I gotta change. That was $180, I want to say. I still have to run the exhaust all the way out, but you can tell it fires and runs. I still gotta run the exhaust all the way out. I gotta chop a hole in the fender, but this is just leftover 4-inch. This is takeoff 4-inch diesel exhaust pipe from a Duramax. So if you can find any of that, or you find some of that laying around, this is just I think it's a 3.25 to a 4-inch adapter, I want to say. And then it came with the V-band too for the GT45. Spectre air cleaner from O'Reilly's, I want to say. I think it was 30 bucks. You got to get a longer oil feed line to go down to the side of the block down here. You also got to buy an ICT plate ICT billet plate for about 10 bucks. That mounts to your on top of your oil filter. But you got to get a longer one, because the one that's in the kit's only 3 feet long. It's not long enough. So what else I got? I didn't need this, but I just threw the cheapest oil overflow tank I could find on there. Well, I ended up just getting new exhaust manifold bolts. They were pretty cheap, 10 bucks or so. For the oil drain, I just have that brass fitting in there, screwing onto the turbo. And then I think this is like 3/4 inch ag hose is what they call it. And then I just found another fitting, and I drilled and tapped the oil pan on this. I just took all the AC parts off because I'm not going to run them once I swap this out. But this is just a good setup to well, I can't say good setup. It's a good way to, if you've never played with LS stuff before, I think it's a good basis. And then as far as tuning goes, I didn't know at the time, but I could have had access to HB tuner, so I would have went that route, but I did not know that at the time, so I ended up buying a ACES EFI kit, their jackpot kit. And that's a pretty good system from what I can tell so far. I haven't played around with tuning on it too much, but I fired this engine up with just the cam in it, and it idled and drove great with just the startup wizard tune on it. And then everything's there's a big, all the harnesses are nice on it, so I'm pretty impressed with their system. Oh, for intercooler, this is just the cheapest 2.5-inch one I could find. and used all the junk couplers. I will, once I swap this over to my Impala, I will put probably a big 3-inch on it with 3-inch piping on it. For the, I think these are both, this one on the intake here, and then off the turbo, I think that's a 4 to a 2.5 adapter for the couplers. So yeah, I got a 7-inch dash in here for the ACES kit. I can just take everything and go from here on out. Like I fire this thing up. I've driven it with the turbo on. I've taken it up and down the street. I can just take everything out from what I have right here, and I know it'll run in something else. There's not going to be no guessing game of, you know, putting all these parts together, and especially when you haven't done an LS swap before. There's not no guessing game on if this is gonna run or that's gonna run. This is just a good way to get a good basis and learn what you're doing first before you get into swapping a 70 or 80s or 60s or whatever it is, swapping an old car that you've never done before. I forgot about the blow-off valve. That's just a cheap eBay. I think it's a $40 tile one, along with the wastegates, the cheapest one they got on there. But I mean, a lot of people, they just buy these clapped Silverados, Tahoes, Suburbans, whatever it is. They pull the engine out, you know, and then they have it sitting around forever, and they got a project car that doesn't have an engine, and it just seems that it takes forever and ever and ever, and it never really pans out. I think this is the best way, is just to get a running, driving Silverado, whatever it is. Get your turbo kit, slap it on, drive it around, realize that it's fun and you want it in a cool car, and then swap everything over into that car. So yeah, I mean, everything was smooth too. I mean, slapped the ACES kit on and everything fired right up, so it worked out pretty good. It's just 4 wires. I mean, undo all your stock stuff and get that out of the way, and then it's just plug in all the ACES connectors coming from the computer that they got. Then it's just 4 wires that you need to get it running. You need power, you need a ground, you need a wire going to your fuel pump that's on a relay, and then you need a key on power. And after that, all your sensors are hooked up, it'll fire up. It's really that easy. If you have no idea what you're doing with this stuff, it really is that easy. And sure, yeah, a lot of this is all hodgepodge together for right now, but it's just temporary. All I wanted to do with this was to make sure that I personally could get a turbo LS to run. So if I know I can get it running in this, I can get it running in something else. And I think that's why this is the best route to go, is just to get a crappy GM vehicle, 99 to 06, whatever it is. Put your turbo kit on, find a way to tune it, and go from there. Then you can swap it into something that you want. I think that's the best route to go. I'll put a clip of this running here at the end. If you guys got any questions, make sure you reach out to me about the ACES kit or the cam that I used, or just anything in general about this. I'm going to film myself pulling this out and then swapping it into my 79 Impala. So I'll have kind of a build series on that. But yeah, if you got any questions about anything, let me know. Thanks for watching.